Welcome to our deep dive into Aphra Behn's play Abdelazer, or The Moor's Revenge.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really thrilling story,
Uh-huh.
one of love, betrayal, and political intrigue,
Right.
all set in 17th century Spain and Morocco.
Yeah.
And as we'll discover, this isn't just any play, it's an adaptation of an earlier work called Lust's Dominion.
Yeah, that's right. Ben basically took that original story and made it her own,
Well,
and it became a huge hit on the London stage.
wow.
It's interesting to see, how she did that, how she reshaped the narrative,
Yeah.
what made her version so captivating to audiences.
Exactly. So let's get right into the story.
Huh?
We're introduced to Abdelazer, the Moorish prince, right from the start.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about his background?
Well, Abdelazer is an orphan,
Okay.
a prince raised in the Spanish court after his father, the King of Fez, was defeated and killed by the Spanish king.
Oh, wow.
This backstory is key because it fuels Abdelazer's simmering desire for revenge, which influences his actions throughout the play.
His childhood definitely set the stage for a lot of conflict for him.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have the Queen of Spain, Isabella,
Yes.
who becomes Abdelazer's lover.
Oh.
But it seems like there's more to their relationship than just romance.
Well, Isabella's a very fascinating character,
Yeah.
especially for her time.
Uh-huh.
She's ambitious, she's driven by desire, and she's willing to defy those societal norms to get what she wants.
Wow.
Her motivations for becoming Abdelazer's lover seem to be more about political gain than genuine affection.
It sounds like she's playing a dangerous game.
Uh-huh.
Using Abdelazer for her own ambitions
Right.
makes you wonder if she truly understands the depths of his resentment.
Yeah. Is she underestimating him?
Yeah.
Or is she knowingly entering into this pact with a man who's fueled by vengeance?
Right.
Their relationship is like a powder keg
Yeah.
waiting to explode.
To complicate matters further, we have Florella, Abdelazer's wife.
Right.
How does she fit into this web of relationships?
Well, Florella is a stark contrast to the queen.
Okay.
She embodies virtue and loyalty,
Uh-huh.
and she is deeply loved by the young King Ferdinand.
Okay.
This creates a very complex love triangle
Yeah.
where desire, ambition, and loyalty are constantly at odds.
It's like Ben has set up this intricate chessboard,
Uh-huh.
and each character is making their moves, trying to outmaneuver the others.
Precisely, and the stakes are incredibly high.
Yeah.
With the king's death, the power dynamics shift dramatically,
Right.
setting the stage for a series of betrayals and power grabs that will have devastating consequences.
The king's death is a real turning point
Yeah.
in the story. Can you walk us through what happens next?
Okay, well, with the old king gone, presumably poisoned by the queen and Abdelazer,
Uh-huh.
Ferdinand ascends to the throne.
Okay.
Right at this moment of transition, his brother Philip returns from a military campaign.
Oh, wow.
As you can imagine, he's furious about his father's death
Yeah.
and even more outraged by his mother's infidelity.
It sounds like Philip's arrival throws everything into chaos.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
He doesn't hesitate to publicly accuse the queen and Abdelazer,
Wow.
which leads to Abdelazer's banishment by the cardinal,
Oh.
who's acting as protector of the young king, but then in a move that has major repercussions.
Ferdinand, blinded by his love for Florella, revokes the banishment. Right.
Exactly.
It's like throwing gasoline on an already raging fire.
It's a decision driven by passion, but ignores the very real threat that Abdelazer poses.
Yeah.
And this seemingly small act will have a ripple effect, leading to even more conflict and betrayal.
So Abdelazer, now free to move about the court, sets his sights on revenge.
Yes.
Targeting Philip and Cardinal Mendoza,
Yes.
who we should mention also has his own desires for the queen.
Right. It's this web of tangled relationships and simmering resentments.
Yeah.
And Abdelazer hatches a plan to eliminate his rivals.
Okay.
But it doesn't go as smoothly as he hoped.
His plan to kill Philip and the cardinal fails.
Yes, they escape disguised as monks. Oh, wow.
But Abdelazer, being as cunning as he is, finds a way to spin the situation to his advantage.
That's one of the things that makes this play so captivating.
Uh-huh.
Just when you think Abdelazer is cornered, he finds a way to exploit the chaos.
Right.
He cries treason,
Yes.
cleverly shifting the blame,
Uh-huh.
and further solidifies his influence in the court.
That's right.
So not only does he escape the consequences of his actions, but he also manages to gain even more power.
It's a testament to his intelligence and his
Yeah.
understanding of how power works.
Yeah.
He knows how to play on people's fears and prejudices to get what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And as we'll see, this is just the beginning of his ascent.
Wow.
Yeah. Adelazer's manipulation of the Spanish court
Yeah.
really reveals a cunning understanding of power dynamics.
Yeah.
This tactic,
Uh-huh.
while unsettling, reflects the historical reality of
Yeah.
how marginalized groups navigated
Wow.
hostile environments.
Wow.
And it raises some interesting questions.
How do you think this strategy plays into contemporary discussions of race and power?
It's a reminder that prejudice can be a powerful weapon
Yeah.
used to divide and control.
Right.
And it makes you wonder about the long-term consequences
Yeah.
of using such tactics.
Oh.
Does it ultimately perpetuate the cycle of mistrust and animosity?
Absolutely.
It's definitely something to ponder.
And as we delve further into the play, we see how Abelazer's ambition
Yeah.
takes him down a dangerous path.
Mm-hmm.
He continues to sow discord and distrust,
Right?
ultimately seizing control of the kingdom.
His rise to power is a study in ambition and ruthlessness.
Oh, yeah.
But his ascent comes at a terrible price, marked by a shocking act of betrayal.
Right.
The queen,
Yeah.
once his partner in crime,
Uh-huh.
becomes a casualty of his ambition.
It's a chilling reminder that for Abdelazer, power is the ultimate goal,
Yeah.
and he's willing to sacrifice anyone who stands in his way,
Wow.
even those who were once his allies, even those with whom he shared intimacy and a thirst for power.
Right.
The queen's death is a pivotal moment
Yeah.
in the play, highlighting just how far Abdelazer is willing to go.
Her death is also a reminder that she was playing a dangerous game, too.
Right.
She thought she could use Abdelazer for her own ends.
Yeah.
But in the end, his ambition proved to be far more ruthless than hers.
It's a powerful illustration of how quickly the tables can turn.
Yeah.
When ambition and the pursuit of power are the driving forces,
Uh-huh.
Ben doesn't shy away from showing the destructive nature of unchecked ambition.
And amidst all this chaos and intrigue,
Yes.
we have Abdelazer setting his sights on Leonora,
Uh-huh.
the young king's sister, and Alonso's betrothed.
Right.
This seems like a particularly bold move even for him.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
And it reveals another facet of his character.
Okay.
His relentless pursuit of what he desires,
Mhm.
regardless of the consequences or who gets hurt in the process.
Right.
His desire for Leonora seems to stem not just from lust, but also a need to exert his dominance,
Uh-huh.
to claim what he believes is rightfully his.
But this time his plans are thwarted.
Yeah.
Osman, his loyal officer,
Right.
the man who has been by his side throughout this entire power struggle,
Uh-huh.
turns against him at a crucial moment.
Osman's journey is a fascinating one. Yeah. He starts as a devoted follower, sharing Abdelazer's thirst for revenge.
Right.
But as he witnesses Abdelazer's increasingly ruthless actions,
Uh-huh.
he begins to have second thoughts.
Okay.
He sees the manipulation, the bloodshed, the betrayals,
Yeah.
and it takes a toll on him.
His wound, both physical and emotional,
Right.
seems to act as a catalyst for his change of heart.
Uh-huh.
It's as if the pain forces him to confront the reality of Abdelazer's actions
Yeah,
and his own complicity in them.
precisely. It's a powerful moment of self-reflection,
Yeah.
a reckoning with the darkness he has been a part of.
Right.
And ultimately, he chooses to act on his conscience,
Uh-huh.
even if it means betraying the man he once served so loyally.
His betrayal leads to a dramatic climax where Abdelazer is finally defeated.
Right.
But the resolution of the play is far from simple.
Uh-huh.
Philip is restored as king, but at a great cost.
Yeah.
The loss of his father, his brother, and a sense of security.
Right.
What is Ben trying to convey through this bittersweet ending?
Ben doesn't offer easy answers or simplistic notions of justice.
Okay.
She leaves us with a sense of ambiguity, prompting us to reflect on the complexities of power
Right.
and the lasting consequences of violence and betrayal.
Yeah.
Yes, order is restored, but the scars of this power struggle run deep.
It's like she's asking, what is the true price of revenge?
Right.
And is victory ever truly achieved when it comes at such a high cost?
Exactly.
And these questions resonate far beyond the confines of the play.
Mm.
They challenge us to consider the cycles of violence and vengeance
Right.
that play out in our own world, in our own societies.
Ben's adaptation of lust's dominion is interesting in itself. What were some of the significant changes she made to the original story?
One of the most notable changes is her decision to streamline the narrative.
Okay.
She cut out several subplots and characters, focusing the story on the central conflicts and themes.
Right.
She also made some key adjustments to the ending.
Yeah.
In the original play, the queen survives and repents for her actions. But in Abdelazer, she meets a far more dramatic end.
Her death at the hands of her own co-conspirator
Right.
is a stark reminder of the dangers of playing with fire.
Yeah.
It also highlights the price of ambition and the fleeting nature of power.
It's a powerful choice that underscores the play's exploration of moral compromise
Right.
and the destructive potential of unchecked ambition.
And speaking of ambition, the play doesn't shy away from exploring how race and power intersect. Abdelazer's Moorishness is central to his character.
Right.
And Ben doesn't hesitate to portray the prejudices he faces in the Spanish court.
That's a crucial element of the play. Yeah. Abdelazer is constantly reminded of his otherness, his outsider status. He's subjected to racial slurs and stereotypes, reflecting the deeply ingrained prejudices of that era.
And yet he manages to turn those prejudices to his advantage.
Wow.
Using them to manipulate and control those around him.
It's a complex and unsettling strategy that raises questions about the nature of power and the ways in which marginalized groups navigate hostile environments.
It forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality that prejudice can be a tool, a means to an end. And it makes us question the long-term consequences of such strategies.
Abdelazer's relationship with the queen is particularly interesting in this context. She initially embraces him, but as soon as he threatens her power, she turns on him, weaponizing his race against him.
It's a stark reminder that even those who profess tolerance can quickly resort to prejudice when it serves their interests. Ben doesn't let anyone off the hook. She exposes the hypocrisy and the deep-seated racism that often underpins power structures.
Abdelazer's character is full of contradictions. He's both a victim of racism and a perpetrator of violence. He uses the tools of his oppressors to gain power. But ultimately, he becomes consumed by the same cycle of revenge and brutality.
His story is a tragedy in many ways.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant, charismatic figure capable of great love and great cruelty, but he's ultimately a product of his environment. Shaped by the forces of racism and power that surround him, it makes you wonder if there was ever another path available to him.
It's a reminder that we all have a responsibility to challenge injustice, to break free from these cycles of violence and oppression. But the play doesn't offer easy solutions. It leaves us with questions, challenges us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world around us.
And amidst all the darkness and intrigue, one aspect of the play that struck me is Ben's masterful use of language.
Yes. The dialogue is incredibly sharp and witty. Even in moments of intense drama or violence, she manages to weave in humor and wordplay. Keeping the audience engaged on multiple levels.
It's as if she's reminding us that even in the darkest of times, there's still room for a bit of wit and brilliance. And it also serves to highlight the intelligence and cunning of the characters. Particularly Abdelazer's. His words are weapons used to disarm and manipulate those around him.
His verbal sparring with Philip and the Cardinal is electric. You can practically feel the tension crackling between them.
It's like watching a high-space game of chess. With each player carefully choosing their words, anticipating their opponent's moves.
Ben's language is so precise, so evocative, that it's easy to imagine ourselves right there in the Spanish court, witnessing these events unfold. Ben's writing really does transport you to another time and place.
It does.
It's like you can almost hear the rustle of those silk gowns. And feel the weight of the political schemes hanging in the air.
Absolutely. And you know what makes Abdelazer even more compelling? Is that it's not just a historical drama. The themes it explores, ambition, betrayal, the struggle for power, they're all timeless and universal.
Exactly. They resonate with audiences across centuries.
It
makes you wonder what Aphra Behn would have to say about the world today.
I think she'd be fascinated by the complexities of modern society. You know, the way technology has changed the game when it comes to manipulation and power dynamics. How social media has become a new stage for ambition and revenge to play out.
It's almost as if she predicted the digital age in some ways. Her characters are so driven by these primal desires, and they're just as relevant today as they were in the 17th century.
That's the mark of a truly great playwright. To tap into the core of human nature, You know, those desires and motivations that transcend time and place.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Abdelazer, what's the one key takeaway you want to leave with our listener?
I think Abdelazer is a play that really stays with you.
Yeah.
You know, it provokes questions about the nature of power, the consequences of our choices, and the enduring struggle for justice.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it challenges us to examine those same forces within ourselves.
It's a reminder that those battles fought on the stage are often reflections of the battles we face in our own lives.
Precisely, and perhaps by engaging with these stories, by grappling with these complex characters and their choices, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
This has been such a fascinating journey.
It has.
Filled with twists, betrayals, and moments of profound insight. We hope you, our listener, have enjoyed exploring the world of Aphra Behn's masterpiece with us.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
And now we leave you with one final question to ponder.
Okay.
What would you do if you were in Abdelazer's shoes? Would you seek revenge, or would you strive for a different path?